Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So Elon Musk recently sat down for an interview with a woke reporter where she tried to paint him as a far-right racist individual, but the interview did not go over as expected because Elon Musk completely destroyed and humiliated this woke reporter. And as a result of that interview, this lady is now on television having a complete meltdown because she knows she cannot recover from that interview. But let us get into it by starting with this original clip where Elon Musk completely destroyed this lady. Watch this.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right, in fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What you call the far right, falsely.
You think as the normal person. Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One thing that's quite funny is to take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama, or actually, that was a speech by Hillary. I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
And there you go. That was Elon Musk completely destroying and humiliating this woke interviewer or reporter that's trying to paint the picture as if Elon Musk is this far-right racist individual. And there's a clip of her actually calling Elon Musk racist. But something quite interesting that Elon Musk mentioned is that, well, if you go back to speeches that Obama or Hillary Clinton that they made a couple of years ago, and you didn't give any context, someone would think that is a current day Republican making that speech or someone on the right, to show you how much the political center of gravity has shifted over the past couple of years. And here we have this lady, after this interview went viral, everyone was talking about it. She was being humiliated online. Here we have her going on CNBC to try to justify her characterization of Elon Musk, and she ended up spiraling. Watch this.
I said to him that he supports not just the populist right in Europe, but the far right, fringe groups that are, nowhere near the mainstream and do actually propagate not just, the three characteristics he said, but really divisive far-right politics. I think that's undoubted. And I think many of these politicians wouldn't be anywhere without Elon Musk's support. And I asked him why. And the reason I did that is because he also propagates a kind of caricatured view of Europe, that it is some sort of hellhole overrun with Muslim immigrants, incredibly violent. And as you heard him say, he has said that England is heading for civil war. And I wanted to know when he was last there, because I feel very strongly that this is a profound mischaracterization of Europe. And it's irresponsible for someone who has 240 million followers to propagate things that are simply not true.
So I believe her name is Zenny Beddoes, and here she's doubling down. She's having a meltdown and doubling down on her characterization of Elon Musk, because what she's claiming that Elon Musk is irresponsible because he has 250 million subscribers or followers, so he should not speak his mind. And what she's saying is that Elon Musk is creating these falsehood or spreading lies, which during the interview, during the debate, she could not prove not one lie that Elon Musk was telling or one lie that Elon Musk was saying. And this is typical from the left, because what they do, anyone that they disagree with, they call them far right, they call them racist, they call them out of their names without being able to prove any of those things. And Elon Musk, as I said, he mentioned something very interesting, because he mentioned that if you go back to Obama, go back to Hillary or one of these Democrats and you listen to their older speeches, you think that is someone on the right. And I want you to listen to this exact speech from Obama in regards to immigration. Watch this.
This administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. President, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need.
That was Barack Obama in 2008 when he was running for office the first time. And if you had printed out a copy of this transcript and showed it to me, I would have told you that this was President Donald Trump. But apparently it was Barack Obama. And we know that Barack Obama and the Democrats, they did a complete 180 when it comes to immigration, because a lot of the issues that we're facing right now in regards to illegal immigrants, crimes and stuff throughout the country is a result of policies that came from the Democrats. And this was one of the points that Elon Musk was trying to make during this interview with this woke reporter, which is why he said that there is a civil war coming in England, because Europe has been completely taken over by radical immigrants that want to change everything about Europe.
You say things like,
Popular guy.
quote, civil war in Britain is inevitable, just a question
On the current
of when.
trends, yes.
I mean, when were you last in the UK?
A few years ago.
Exactly. So I live there. I'm there the whole time. That is
Yeah,
nonsense.
you live in a cloistered existence.
No, I don't, actually. And the numbers also disprove what you say.
What numbers?
All the numbers about crime. London is a much safer city than any city in the United States. Violent crime in the UK is not where you think it is. In fact, it's coming down. You have painted, and because you have so many followers, so many Americans believe it, a kind of view that Europe and the UK are kind of, overrun with terrifying Muslim immigrants. There's rape on every corner. There's a sort of civilizational destruction.
I haven't said any of those things. If you have a large and rapidly growing group of people whose beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs, at some point there will be a reckoning.
For one, I completely understand what Elon Musk is saying, because what he's saying is that when you import a whole bunch of folks from different countries throughout the world, these failing nations like Somalia, Afghanistan, places in Africa, places in Asia, wherever they're coming from, and their beliefs are completely different from your own, what's going to happen? You're going to have conflict, because they're fleeing these places that they destroyed, and now they're coming to your country and they're trying to change that. And the reason why this is an issue is because you have local demographics, people who have roots in those countries. They're looking at everything. They're trying to speak up. They're trying to say, well, we need to stop this mass immigration where you're having all these radical folks coming in. We need to stop this. And the leaders, they're not listening to them, because if you go to Britain, for example, if you say anything online, if you use Muslim and pork in the same sentence, you have the cops knocking on your door for hate speech. That is why Elon Musk is saying that there might be a civil war coming to Britain. And another thing that she was trying to attack Elon Musk for, where she had no proof, she was saying because Doge, which Elon Musk led at the time, cut off USAID, USAID in Africa, and she's claiming that a lot of people, a lot of kids died as a result.
You don't buy the idea that anybody, to put it really crudely and simply, any kid in Africa died because of the suddenness with which...
Zero.
I just don't think that's right. I just don't think... I've had people reporting in Africa.
So there are a few things here that I want to unpack. Because for one, how are you going to sit there and claim that the action of a man caused the death of someone else or a group of people, but you have not a single piece of evidence of that? And when he said zero, you're saying you don't believe that. The second thing, why are the American taxpayers expected to fund healthcare for everyone around the world via USAID? And here we have her continuing to have a meltdown over USAID because USAID was cut off by Elon Musk. Watch this.
And he mentioned that, his view that Doge was just, the USAID was a political organization. And he said there had been zero deaths as a result of shutting down USAID. USAID was a very big provider of healthcare funding in Africa. I find it very hard to believe that there were no deaths and no suffering. And you heard him, he just said zero, right. Zero deaths. You can agree that USAID needed reform, or perhaps even needed shutting down, but the way it was done, clearly, to my mind, and I think indisputably, has led to unnecessary suffering.
And that brings us to the end of this video. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below in regards to this lady getting destroyed by Elon Musk, getting humiliated, and also her going on TV to have a meltdown while also trying to double down on her woke positions. Also, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.